already hired two more and they're already at like 70% capacity. Like they're actually at the point where like their third week on the job, I was checking that like mentally they were okay with how busy they are. My name's Jordan. I've got two physio clinics on the Gold Coast. I've got seven physios working for me, a couple of massage therapists. I've got a dietitian that rents a room from me. So in total, I've got 15 staff across two locations, and we're predominantly physio based. Anything from the lollies with back pain through to high level youth athletes.
Oh, that was very well said. So, what was the problem that you had that made you want to reach out originally?
Probably just consistency with like new patients, I guess. Like the as physios, we can always go and see doctors and surgeons, and who knows if we're going to get those referrals. And I guess looking to grow both clinics, trying to do something that's predictable, and obviously marketing's a bit more predictable with where the leads may or may not come from. And basically, I'd tried a lead agency in the past and had a horrible experience, spent a lot of money and got absolutely nothing back. And then, funny enough, I bumped into one of my old clients at the servo, and I just put another physio on, and we were having a conversation about how we're gonna get him busy. And that old client was a client of you guys, and he said, "Well, I'm doing this. You should look into it." And that's where it all started for me. And then probably within a week, I had the discovery call, and then basically handed my money over on the spot.
That's crazy. Who was it?
Isaac Walker.
Ah, I did one of these calls with him a couple of months ago. That's so funny. Yeah, he's been in the
Yeah.
program for ages.
Yeah, no, he's going good too. So
Yeah,
he's your world's greatest advocate, I think.
I know. Yeah, he put his post up like at the start of the year saying like he put the big graph that was like this is what happens over like
Yeah.
12 months. And when I
Yeah.
saw that, I was like, obviously I want to reach out to people who got success really quickly, but then also I was like, it's gonna be so valuable to talk to someone who's like been in the program for 12 months rather than
Yeah.
like 3 or 6. So no, he's great. He was a good time. Yeah, I saw in your win post, it was like your last agency, you got like $500 return.
Yeah, so I think we spent like between obviously the monthly fees with them and then the ad spend and everything. Yeah, we'd spent about it would have been just over 12 grand and literally got like $580 back or something like that. It was ridiculous. Like it's still there was a reasonable, I guess, a reasonable amount of leads, but they were horrible leads. Like half of them wouldn't pick up the phone. Like we could get 10 leads a day and I reckon we'd actually be able to speak to one out of 20 of them. And then the conversion rate was horrendous.
Mm.
So it just didn't work.
That's the thing about agencies. Like I used to work at another agency before I started working here, and like it was very much we just take care of the ads and like the numbers, and it was very
Yeah.
little of let's talk to the actual client about how's the quality, what's it like. Like we didn't really hold any ownership of like landing pages or anything like that. It was literally just like we'll do the ads, everything else is your problem, which was a bit like not very helpful.
Yeah, and you can see just in the way that, like, I notice it more now after like being with you guys, how those agencies market themselves too. Like, I had an email come through the other day, and it had a VSL in it that, and I watched it because it's someone that I'd like seen previously, and they were talking about how like they generated like this clinic an extra $300,000 worth of income. But when you actually like look at what they're saying, it was just their like meta dashboard, and it was just the fact that they were like, we've like generated this many leads, and at like this amount of like, if we were able to convert that client, it would have been
Hmm.
$300,000. But like, they probably didn't convert any of those clients. Like they were
Yeah.
probably just horrible leads, and none of them picked up the phone. So you can't just put a meta dashboard up there and be like, oh, we can make you this much money if you can't actually convert any of those clients. And I feel like that's what I got sucked into the first time because
Mm.
I did have that conversation with them as like, how do you guys measure this? Like, how do you actually measure that like those clients then convert? Like, how do they convert into actual paying clients? And like, oh, we can't measure it. And I was dumb enough to be like, oh, well, that sounds good anyway. Uh, and it failed. So surprise, surprise.
God bless. Bless
Yeah.
them all. Perfect. I mean, obviously, if you had a actual real life referral, this may be slightly redundant, but if you had any hesitations before buying, what were they, and what was it that kind of got you over the line in the end?
Oh, I mean, I still had hesitations because at the end of the day, you've still got to, I guess, go into and interact with an industry that you've had a previous like poor experience with. So I wasn't just, keen to jump right into it. But I think having that sort of word of mouth from Isaac definitely helped me, I guess, not. second guess any of things like in that discovery call. And definitely watching some of Brendan's videos definitely like got me over the line too in terms of he just, yeah, cuts to it. There's no bullshit there. You're not gonna get on the internet and make an absolute dick of yourself unless you're pretty confident in what you're doing, realistically. And I think as a for myself as a business owner, like a lot of the things that he says in there in terms of, the person that owns the business is far more likely to be the one that's going to be, the most actionable person to go out and do this stuff. Like I'm pretty bad at, being able to delegate things to other people. I want to just do everything myself at the moment. So it just really resonated with, this bloke's probably going to be able to speak really well to how much control I don't want to let go of at the moment. And then when I can learn it and do it well, and we're seeing a good consistent return on it, and I can actually step back and pay people to do their jobs properly, then I can just stress less and relax. And I was like, that sounds like what I need to do.
And then you can actually like watch out for what it is that they're doing and the recommendations they're giving you with like a bit of understanding rather than just having to take their word for it.
Exactly.
That's my favorite bit. But yeah, in
Yeah.
terms of like taking control, I mean, losing control, Brandon still runs all of our ads. He will never let that go. So you're not alone there.
Yes.
Yep. So obviously you kind of like smashed everything out before you even came to the workshop, which is awesome. But
Yeah.
over that time, since everything's online and everything, what results have you had? What's changed for you? That sort of thing.
So results wise, I think I put in the post the other day, like when I compared the spend that we did with the previous agency to the spend that I've put in with you guys in terms of signing up for the course and then ad spend. I think we had the difference in return as a percentage, I wouldn't even be able to know, but I think we're basically getting back 2.5 to 3 times like return on ad spend. And it's always hard from a physio point of view to calculate exactly what it is because we don't sell anything up front. So I know the overall goal and stuff is to try and like hit around a 5. And I think if we like cut the ads off and let everything play out, we would probably bring it back to about a 7 or 8, like return on ad spend, which is far better than the $500 I got back from spending 12 grand the first time round. So as a rolling average, we're already doing way better than what we ever did, and that'll only continue to grow, which is awesome. And in terms of like how that's helped me like change the business, I actually, again, the sort of the reason that I ended up jumping on with you guys originally was speaking to Isaac at the servo, and like I just put that physio on, and we'd weirdly just had like the quietest week we'd ever had in new patients, and it was like the week I put a new physio on, and I'm like, well, he's just gonna sit around twiddling his thumbs. And then I've actually like since then in like that was I reckon that was early November, late October when I did that. And then I've put that physio on. Their list is built right up and I've already hired 2 more and they're already at like 70% capacity. Like they're actually at the point where like their third week on the job, I was checking that like mentally they were okay with how busy they are. Um, which is great because I was tossing and turning between like, do I even hire someone? And then I just pulled the trigger on hiring 2, and they're both absolutely killing it. And I've literally doing interviews this week to hire another physio. So I've been able to grow by like 3 physios in the space of 3 months.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
good. In terms of everything in like the workshop, the program, the support, the resources, all that sort of stuff, what did you value learning the most, or what did you like appreciate being included the most?
To be honest, like all of it's been really good. I think to start with, when it was all pretty fresh, like for me, I have been quite busy and like where I was at business wise was trying to confidently grow enough that I could actually step back a bit and stop doing much. Like I've been doing 80-hour weeks for the last 3 years and I've got a wife and 2 kids and they want me home more. So like to do that, I had to hire more staff, but to hire more staff, I need to make more money so that I could put food on the table. And it was just this vicious cycle of like, how am I going to do it? And I think being able to like get access to the school stuff prior to the workshop. Like I did everything in those first couple of months before even getting to Brisbane and got the ads up and did the landing pages and posted a few questions and got some feedback on stuff. And like I was just able to like having the general access in advance was like really good for someone like me that I didn't want to wait 3 months to get to a workshop because I just sit there, spinning my wheels and losing sleep every night. So I think that the general setup of it's really good. And then I jumped on a few advisory calls and got some feedback, and it's just, you can, I guess, get like real-time feedback all the time of like what's going well, what's not. This is when to panic, this is not when to panic. And again, you're never in the dark in terms of like what you have to do and when you have to do it. Like you have very clear instructions anytime you ask for help. And then obviously with the workshop, because I'd had most of it already done in advance, like I was able to just like fine tune some things. And I think even since then, like asking Brandon and the team a few questions, and it's already been out in the last couple of weeks, been able to go to another level. And I still haven't even implemented any of the meta stuff because for me, like it's not as strong from a physio point of view. And like I will get there, but being able to just get the clarity on, okay, this stuff worked when I was basically just following the videos. And now in person, I've got the right setup for all the meta stuff and just being able to roll that out, I think has been good. And then just, I think even as you guys develop, you can always see that you're not just trying to do the same thing with people. As in, like, I know Brandon was posting there not that long ago about, do we go down the path of trying to make like industry specific sort of videos and stuff so that people
Mm.
that are like in health and tradies and all that, so they can bounce ideas off each other. And I think like that's also good to see that, you guys are just evolving things as you get bigger and trying to help more people specifically, I think is good. And that'll get easier for you guys, I feel like, as you get a bigger sample size of what's working in every different
Yes.
industry in that like service-based business side of things. But I think overall it's been everything's been good, basically.
Yeah, sick. Yeah. I think something I have noticed, which is also really good on these calls, is the people that do achieve success so quickly is the people that have really like got stuck into all of those resources.
Yeah.
Um, which is great because like a lot of people will come to the workshop kind of a little bit blind, which is why we've implemented Kickstart calls. I don't know if they were a thing before you came. Did you come to a Kickstart call?
No, I watched a replay of one like before the
Ah,
workshop, but no, I
yeah,
think they
cool.
came in, yeah, after I signed up.
Yeah, I think it was this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've started doing that so that we can like kind of give people a tour of school a little bit more and be like, this is where previous workshop recordings are, this is where all your templates are. Because I know the sales team do a bit of that during the onboarding process, but we kind of like hammer home like if you do really want to get ads on quickly, these are the things that we'd recommend to achieve success based on like what we've got from all of the surveys that we keep sending out.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
I
it
think,
does seem to be a personality thing as well. Like, I just want to do
yeah.
it now.
And I think that the other thing I was gonna say with um like the other good experience I have was like with Chris with some of the tech stuff. Like I I actually had some I followed all the videos and like I couldn't quite get there with like the conversion tracking thing, and I was like, bugger it. For the amount of time it's taken me, like I just spent the money to like jump on the call with him and get him to do it for me. And he obviously asked like, what are we trying to do today? And I remember I was sitting in Bali on my computer, like with my wife and kids, trying to do this meeting because like I just said to him, I need to get this done. It's 30 minutes of the holiday. I just need to get it done. But like we weren't even like I wasn't even there to do any of the meta stuff. But like
Mm,
he was just talking to me about like where I was at with the overall thing and knew that I hadn't done the workshop yet. So he just went through and set it all up for me. He like set up all the conversion tracking stuff. He made sure that all of my meta ads were like ready to go in terms of like my dashboard and stuff. He made sure it was all linked up. He's like, I'll just do it all for you now so that like when you get to the workshop, like you're just good to go. So I was
yeah.
like doing stuff for me that's like super helpful that I didn't even ask for was just because like he knew I'd need it at some point. He was
Yeah.
like, I'll just do it for you now.
And he
Um,
can do it so quickly. He's like a wizard. He just
yeah, and that's the thing, like
quickly.
to like for the stuff that he was going and like checking and making sure that everything was talking to each other and all the metapixels were set up and like all the stuff he's got to do, like it would have taken me probably 6 hours to do. And then that's 6 hours of my time that I don't want to spend doing it. And he knocked it over in like 10 minutes. And I was like, that's the best money I've ever spent. So just, yeah, being able to have those options there too is like just, yeah, super helpful when you're busy, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's nice that he's just the type of guy that will be like, well, you don't need it now, but let's just do it anyway because
Yeah.
you're like you're future proofed as well then.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good egg. All right, perfect. Last one of these ones. If anyone was unsure about booking a call or if they were on the fence, what would you say to them?
I would say that regardless of what their reason is for being on the fence, whether it's the first time they're sort of jumping in with an agency like yours, whether they've had a poor experience in the past, I think that the growth that you guys have had being able to market yourselves in an industry trying to advertise for marketing is one of the like that should be enough to convince them in themselves that like the growth that you guys have had in the last 12 months, as well as like you mentioned, like schools up to 1,200 people. There's 1,200 businesses in there that are all getting all the support that they could possibly need to succeed. And I haven't seen anyone in there either not grow, or if they do bring up a problem, there isn't a team of people trying to help them find a solution as to why they wouldn't be getting the results that they're told that they can get. So I think there would be zero reason to hesitate as to like why they shouldn't jump on board.